VC sir will join shortly.
नहीं डॉक्टर शिंदे,
हाँ सर.
अभी मेरे को मैसेज आया है कि डॉक्टर विशी सर इज बिजी इन रिसीविंग द मिनिस्टर मिस्टर Slawat. So
Oh,
Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad will be the chairperson. I'll
ठीक है
request
सर.
Dr. Guru Prasad to please preside over.
Oh.
Dr. Sheetal, please continue. Dr. Sheetal, just carry on.
Yes sir. Good afternoon everyone. I, Dr. Sheetal Shinde, Assistant Professor of Agricultural Economics, welcome you all on behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore for the valedictory session of 5th International Conference VAKSANA 2024 on the theme Innovations in Agriculture and Outreach Programs, Challenges and Opportunities. We are privileged to have with us Honorable today's guest of honor, respected Dr. N.S. Rathod sir, former Deputy Director General, ICR, today's chief guest, Padma Shri Awardee Dr. Ratan Lal sir, he will join soon. Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad sir, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture, Professor Vinod Dhar sir, Coordinators of VAKSANA 2024, Dr. Suhas Mane sir and Dr. Narayan Guru sir, distinguished delegates from different institutes, deans, directors, head of institutes, head of departments, faculty members, and dear students of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, along with participants and viewers on various platforms. We have been listening to the eminent speakers, academicians, presenters deliberating in the area of innovations in agriculture and outreach programs, challenges and opportunities since yesterday. All the valuable insights gave us a new perspective about innovations in agriculture and opportunities for it. Definitely, we should adopt and work over this factor for a successful applications of innovation in agriculture. Chairperson of this valedictory session is Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad sir. I take the privilege to introduce the today's guest of honor, respected Dr. Naren Singh Rathod sir, former Deputy Director General, ICR New Delhi. Sir is presently working as a campus director at a Gitanjali Institute of Technical Studies, Udaipur. He has over 42 years of experience in agricultural engineering. He has supervised thesis of 13 MSc students, 31 MTech students, and 16 PhD students. He has designed 17 new agricultural related courses. Along with that, he has designed entrepreneurship related 57 vocational courses too. Sir has held several academic positions. Among that, he worked as a vice chancellor at different universities. We are giving some few of them. Among that, Maharana Pratap University of Agriculture and Technology, Udaipur, Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur, Govind Guru Tribal University, Banswara, Sri Karan Narendra Agriculture University, Jobner, and many more universities. He served as a Deputy Director General of Education and also a Deputy Director General of Engineering at ICR New Delhi. He worked as a National Director in the World Bank sponsored NAHIF for 3 years in ICR. He served as a Vice Chairman in National Education Accreditation Board for 4 years in ICR and started the accreditation scheme for private and affiliated college as well. He handled the nationally sponsored 50 research and development projects. Among that, 3 international plus 15 institutional development projects. And through this, he developed 25 RES-based technologies, commercialized 6 technologies. Along with that, developed 2 cook store models. As regard with international exposure, he has visited more than 13 countries and attended international trainings too. He honored with the 2 international awards, 10 national award, 1 state award, 10 societal awards, 11 institutional awards, and 5 fellowships. So we can sum up it that is the 39 awards and fellowship too. He has also addressed 32 convocations. He attended 9 international and 57 national level congresses As regard with his publications, near about total 507 publications through books, book chapters, research paper in national and international journals, proceedings, reviews, booklets, laboratory manual, works, popular article, etc. Along with this, there are many milestones that's Sir's biodata, but I introduced Sir very briefly due to time barrier. So, moving forward, now I would like to request Dr. Guru Prasad Sir to welcome Dr. N.S. Rathod Sir. So, I request the technical team to virtually welcome with the sapling. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Should I start?
Sir, we have actually changed some schedule.
Hmm.
So, we will first give the report of this VAKSANA 2 days reports, and after that we will go through your presentation, sir. Please.
Okay.
No issue. Moving forward, as VAKSANA 2024 has marked a stunning success through huge participation, I request Dr. Narayan Guru, Coordinator VAKSANA 2024, to present this academic event report and share highlights too. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Narayan Guru, feel privileged to present the report of VAKSANA 2024, an international conference on the theme Innovations in Agriculture and Outreach Programs, Challenges and Opportunities, which was held online on September 19-20, 2024. The conference gathered delegates from both national and international backgrounds, promoting discussions and collaborations among participants. We received a total of 104 abstracts, of which 83 were accepted after precise screening and published in Souvenir. Among the registered participants, 56 researchers presented their work through the oral and poster presentations. We also invited full-length papers related to the conference theme, resulting in 30 outstanding contributions published as a book chapter in a book with ISBN number. This conference highlighted important research and the role of innovations in agriculture. The conference was inaugurated by traditional auspicious lamp lighting as a tribute to Saraswati Mata, the goddess of knowledge, by dignitaries Sri Kamal Narayanji Buradia, Honorary Secretary Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Trust, Indore, Dr. Ken Guru Prasad, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Professor Yunadhar, Coordinator, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, and coordinators of VAKSANA 2024, Dr. Swasmane and Dr. Narayan Guru. The guest of honor, Dr. C.D. Mai, was presented by Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad. In welcome address, Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad highlighted the funding policy for research and education. According to the World Bank recommendations, spending on agriculture should be 2% of GDP. However, in India, currently allocates only 0.7% of GDP to research and education in agriculture, including extension. Dr. Guru Prasad also underlined the need to maintain proper ratio of extension workers and number of farmers for effective transfer of technologies. He also emphasized that there is need to provide agriculture education in regional languages. Following the welcome address, the book and souvenir of VAKSANA 2024 was released by Sri Kamal Narayanji Buradia and Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad. The session was continued with brief introduction of guest of honor, Dr. C.D. Mai, by Dr. Yuvraj Shinde, followed by his deliberation on Indian agriculture innovations to meet emerging challenges through pre-recorded video. Dr. Mai began by emphasizing the critical role of agriculture in Indian economy, highlighting its strengths with substantial statistical data. He discussed trends in exports and imports, as well as significant changes in the production level over time. His insights painted a comprehensive picture of the agriculture landscape in India, showcasing its vital contribution to economic growth and sustainability. He discussed the transformation of Indian agriculture highlighting vibrant sectors such as horticulture and fisheries. He highlighted critical challenges like population growth, malnutrition, water scarcity, climate change, the yield gap, and small farm holdings, while also emphasizing the urgent need for policy reforms to address issues such as waste to wealth initiative, sustainable development, and fostering startup. Furthermore, he endorsed for genome editing in India in Indian crops as a more suitable approach than genome modification. The session concluded with a word of thanks to all dignitaries delivered by Sri Kamal Narayanji Buradia, followed by the national anthem. Dr. Anunarka moderated the session while Dr. Kishore Muthal served as the rapporteur. After lunch, the conference resumed with a technical session first, which was chaired by Dr. Santosh Dhar, Rector, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. Dr. Santosh Dhar honored the invited guest speaker, Dr. Pramod Sawant, former professor of extension education, Dr. Balasaheb Sawant, Konkan Krishi Vidyapit, Dapoli, Maharashtra. In her opening remarks, Dr. Dhar highlighted the critical role of social media in building communities and facilitating the transfer of agricultural technologies from researchers to the farmers. However, she noted that challenges faced by the rural populations, where 75% of the people live, particularly in terms of internet availability and connectivity, which affects the effective dissemination of these technologies. Dr. Sawant delivered an insightful session on the important role of social media in the transfer of agricultural technologies. Began by introducing the concept of social media and its various platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp, highlighting their advantages over traditional method for disseminating agriculture knowledge. He further discussed the challenges associated with using social media for technology transfer and offered practical solutions to enhance its effectiveness. Following his address, 24 oral presentations were made by participants from different states across India, showcasing innovative research and diverse findings. Dr. Chevi Tiwari moderated the session, and Dr. Hiral Gundania worked as a rapporteur. The session concluded with Dr. Rajni Solanki extending a heartfelt vote of thanks to the dignitaries, bringing the event to a close. Now, I'm moving on the second day conference. Second day of conference, September 20, 2024, session first was moderated by Dr. Babasaheb Walunskar and chaired by Dr. Namit Gupta, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Technology and Science. During this session, Dr. Namit Gupta virtually felicited Dr. Milind Ahire, Professor and Head, the Department of Agriculture Extension Education, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit, Rahuri, Maharashtra. In introductory note, Dr. Namit Gupta emphasized the critical role of sensor-based and drone technologies in modern agriculture. He also highlighted a significant shift in a Malwa region cropping pattern, moving from traditional crop like soybean and potato to fruit crops such as orange and pomegranate, reflecting changes in agriculture practices. Following introductory note, Dr. Milind Ahire discussed the concept of carbon footprint and explained that a carbon footprint represents total greenhouse gas emission from human activities. He highlighted several mitigation strategies to reduce the carbon footprint in agriculture, such as efficient fossil fuel use and diversified cropping system. This approach can be applied across various agriculture systems, including croplands, grasslands, and agroforestry, to the improved management practices like recycling crops, resides, and using biochar. The session continued with poster presentation where 16 participants shared their research findings in which the topics included the effects of sowing windows, pruning dates in grapes, and in impact of pesticides on bumblebee health. Dr. C.D. Mai, former Vice Chancellor of Vasantrao Naik Marathwada Krishi Vidyapit, Parbani, Maharashtra, attended and participated in the discussion. Dr. Babasaheb Walunskar concluded the session with a word of thanks, officially bringing it to close. Then, in technical session 2 was chaired by Dr. V.R. Sampath, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Textile Technology, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. Dr. Chevi Tiwari welcomed Dr. V.R. Sampath and who delivered the keynote address highlighting India's startup as a home to largest national agriculture research system worldwide. He emphasized its significance in advancing agricultural innovations, supporting scientific research, and providing employment to about 60% of population. The session continued with oral presentation, where 17 participants shared their research findings. Dr. Trinuma Patle moderated the session, while Professor Satish Patidar worked as the rapporteur. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. It is indeed a privilege to have with Dr. N.S. Rathore, sir. Let eagerly listen to our guest of honor. Now I request respected Dr. N.S. Rathore, sir, to present his views on topic agriculture past, present and future. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good evening to one and all. Am
Good
I
evening,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate all participants, those who have attended this international conference. They all deserve appreciation. They have attended in a really in a very systematic manner. All sessions were organized, and number of good information has been imparted by this time. And I'm sure that at 4:30, as per program, Dr. Ratan Lal ji, one of the eminent scientists in the field of soil science, he is going to join all of you. So I won't take much more of the time, but I would like to insist some of the things what was there at initial inception as far as the agriculture is concerned. What is the present state of art of agriculture and what will be the future? If you will see that why agriculture is very much profitable in China and USA, but why our farmers are under this stress, and why the lot of problems are available as far as the agriculture is concerned. Whereas if you see, India is the second largest producer of the wheat and rice. And if you see the total production, we have already crossed 325 million tons of total grain production. Out of this, 121 million tons is a rice and 113 million tons is your wheat. And combinedly, if you see that 323 and 24 million tons, it is a big amount. And that is true that we are a second largest producer of wheat and rice. And even most of the, if you see that number of dry fruits and vegetable, again, we have crossed 352 million tons of a horticulture production, under which we are really pioneer as far as the production in a number of fruits is concerned. Same thing is true with the fish and egg. And even then, if you see, in spite of the fact that we have got a very good recognition across the globe as far as the production is concerned, but still, if you visualize that what are the problem of agriculture since inception of our independence in 1947, if you see, our total population was hardly of a 39 crore. Out of 3 crore, this 39 crore, 3 crore went to Pakistan and 2.9 or 2.8 crore went to Bangladesh. So we were, frankly speaking, we were only 33 million, total 33 crore population, whereas we were producing around 49 million tons. So that was a basically idea at that moment. But still, we were having a lot of problem as far as the production is concerned, as far as the profitability is concerned, as far as productivity is concerned. And if you see overall, in order to meet out our production, productivity and profitability, solution is integrated farming system. To a certain extent, in present context, we are doing a lot of work. But still, if you see, I am giving an example of productivity. You must be knowing that we have produced more than that of 113 or 114 million tons of wheat production. But at what cost? If you see that overall productivity, it is hardly of a 3.6 ton per hectare. It can easily be visualized that how much area is there and how much we have produced. I don't want to go critically that somebody will say that my productivity is more than 6 ton per hectare. But on an average, what we have produced and up to how much area we have utilized, this gives an impression not more than that of a 3.6 ton per hectare. And whereas if you see France, the wheat productivity is 6.3 ton per hectare. Just reverse this figure. 3.6 is ours and there is 6.3. Same thing is true with the China. If you go, if you see the productivity of rice in our country, I am sorry to say that it's still few varieties are producing productivity in the terms of a 7 ton per hectare. But in fact, when we will take the total production and total area under shown, then you will find out that our product productivity comes to out to be a 2.6 ton per hectare. Whereas if you see the China productivity as far as the rice is concerned, it is 4.2 ton per hectare. So there is a big question as far the productivity is concerned, and still we are facing this problem. And if you see profitability, if you ask with any farmer, he will say that I am having some problem. And in present context, the farmer has to understand the new economics of farming. It basically what is happening nowadays, that now most of the beneficiary, most of the citizen of our country, they have switched on their food intake from a grain to a fruits and vegetable. That's why if you see the net income of a farmers of West Bengal, those who are producing more fruits and vegetables, they are more profitable. Whereas in our country, in most of the state, where grain production is to be given a priority, then people are under this stress, and they are saying that they are not getting a right type of profitability. But we will have to see in a totality, and we will have to give a integration approach as far as in order to get a right profitability. Second major problem is a quality what we are producing. If you see in 1947, we were hardly using 0.5 kg of a chemical fertilizers, insecticide and pesticide per hectare wise. That is a statistics available. But if in present context, if you see that how much chemical fertilizers we are using divided by the total area, then you will surprise that 0.5 kg of chemical fertilizer per hectare has been enhanced to the level of 148 kg per hectare. You just see that 300 times we have enhanced our intake of this chemical fertilizers, insecticide, pesticide. So there is a big question as far as the quality production is concerned. So solution is again food safety principle is there. We will have to incorporate to certain extent. Number of a state has implemented on mission mode, but still when we are seeing the total profitability and total use of chemical fertilizer in a Punjab and Haryana, then you will visualize that these people are using lot of chemical fertilizer. Next problem in present context is a remuneration. So means say how much return on original. We are spending lot of money. That's why most of the farmers are ready to sell their land. Why it is so? Because quickly they are getting lot of money. They are putting in a different business and getting a more revenue what they are getting in from the same piece of land during the agriculture operation. So that's why return on original and remuneration is a very poor as far as the agriculture is concerned. And here we will have to think of a good agriculture practices, which is perhaps is the missing in present context. And as a whole, not only agriculture practices, good horticulture practices, good animal husbandry practices, good dairying practices, there are a lot of good solutions are available. And one of the major problem which was very dominating in past and in present as well, that is a sustainability. And sustainability means we are having a lot of problem as far as our future is concerned. If you see this year, statistics is giving that our overall growth rate of agriculture was hardly of a 1.2%. But if you see last year, it was around 3.8%. So as far as the growth rate is concerned, agriculture is gradually reducing. From 3.8, we reduced to 1.2. Number of times these type of statistics are available, but somewhere it is missing from our mindset. That's why I would like to mention that what will happen to our future. We have crossed 141 crore of our population. And same thing is true that our country is not in rich as far as our population is concerned. We are also having a largest number of animals. If you see 20% of world animal we are carrying. Whereas as far as the human beings is concerned, only 18% of human beings are in India. So continuously our demand for a food grain and other things, and that to be of a quality demand will enhance. And that's why there is a big question mark as far as the sustainability and supportive scenario as far as the future is concerned. And we have already spoiled our soil. If you see, and definitely today our Professor Ratan Lalji will giving some interesting figure, but I have seen his one of the lecture. Once he said that in a soil, we should have a 3% of the organic content, or you can say that this microorganism, 3%, whereas in present context, it is hardly a 0.3%. So 1/10 of microorganisms available in a soil throughout in all 28 state and 8 union territories, same problem is there. Whereas if you see the fixed carbon, it should be around 0.8, 0.9%. But unfortunately, it has reduced to the 0.3 and 0.4%. So there is a big question as far as the sustainability and supportive solution is concerned. For that, solution is organic farming. Government of India has introduced natural farming. Even agriculture processing, the secondary agriculture need to be given in a different angle, which perhaps is missing in present context. And last problem, which is very much problem, and that's why farmers are not interested to grow anything on their farm because of trading, marketing. That is a problem. Government of India, especially Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, they have introduced a lot of ways and means for agriculture marketing. If you see that INAM, a online platform they have created, Electronic National Agriculture Market. But in present context, we will have to include the in market intelligence rather than that of a online marketing. In a market intelligence, this will follow the principle of OPD. OPD means O means a new opportunity, P means how you will penetrate, and D means how you will develop it. So in a comparative scenario, you will have to see that a lot of things are available and which we are supposed to do some justice as far as the to make it refined, to make it reform, and to have a right type of a rebounding, so that we will meet out our requirement from our natural available resources. If you see a different component in agriculture, they vary from soil, water, seed, machinery, climate, and farmers. These are the six component of agriculture which has got a direct and indirect bearing with the agriculture. But we will have to see, as I mentioned, in soil, in most of the soil is poor as far as the organic carbon is concerned, and same thing is true with the microorganisms concentration. For that, if you go through with what this CRIPCO has given a solution. CRIPCO has given a solution that we are supposed to integrate customized fertilization, balanced fertilization, integrated fertilization, nano fertilization, and water soluble fertilization. They are regularly insisting. But accordingly, this we will have to find out that how we will do justice as far as the customized fertilization is concerned. The fertilizer need of a Indore is a different than a fertilizer need of a Udaipur. So we will have to give a more stress towards the fertilizers balancing. And for that, what you can do, your input which is required to give a new fertility shape, that we will have to find out. So micronutrients and macronutrients, both we will have to consider in a customized fertilization. Same thing is true with the integration. Integration means not only you will meet out your requirement from a chemical fertilizers, but organic carbon, organic fertilizers need to be integrated with your inorganic component. And similarly, nano fertilizers, and there is a typical need of water soluble fertilizers, because most of the fertilizer use efficiency, it is quite less. It is hardly of 20%. So 80% of these fertilizers we are losing unnecessary, and this is creating a nuisance to our soil. That's why we will have to see that how water soluble fertilizers can enhance the fertilizer use efficiency. That is a must in a soil. We will have to give a new consideration altogether, a new forum we will have to consider. As far the water problem is concerned, although we have got this year in number of states, we have got a good rainfall, but still there is a irregularity in some of the places. In all 28 states and 8 union territories, you can't say that uniformity is there as far as the rainwater is available. But we will have to do justice for rainfall harvesting as well. And rainfall harvesting is a technique which is more dominated, especially if you see the historical development of agriculture in Rajasthan. Rajasthan has got a scarcity of water. We have got a, say, 61% of arid area and 61% of semi-arid area. So 77% has got a very less availability of water, but still they are maintaining agriculture. How they are maintaining? They are doing a justice as far as the rainfall harvesting is concerned. Second important thing is that old wells and aquifer, this we will have to recharge. And of course, we will have to just do a justice as far as the irrigation and drainage management is concerned. That is a somewhere problem in irrigation during rainfall season, when we see that a lot of water is coming through the god, but we are not trapping it. So we will have to give a more stress towards a single point of rain, and we will have to make on a mission mode a program that every drop will be contributing for the purpose of our production. That need to be given as far as the problem encountered by water. We have got a problem from seed as well. Still, we are not in position. I was looking on the date of our ICR annual day, foundation day. On that day, they have released more than that of 3,400 seed variety. It gives an impression that every day, every institute has done developed a new variety of seed. But still, in spite of so much of a message, our farmers is in need of a seed. So that's why we will have to keep in mind that what type of seed is in need of a farmer. If you see, discuss this issue with any of illiterate farmer, I'm saying who is not educated, but he is having a very prompt action as far as his farming is concerned. He will say, I will need a seed which has got a low water requirement. He will say that let us protect from the disease. A seed itself has got some mechanisms to protect from the disease. Even early maturity they will prefer. So why not we are supposed to do some justice as far the seed research is concerned for developing a low water requirement seed, for protecting from a disease resistant seeds, and even early maturity seed we will have to see. In the field of machinery, although if you see after in agriculture 2.0, I will give you the complete scenario of how the agriculture is taking growth in a present context. So agriculture 2.0 is mechanized agriculture. Why it is mechanized? Because during 19th century, there was a shift from a introduction of tractor, harvester, and other farm machinery. And that is the reason why our efficiency was increased as far as our crop production is concerned. Productivity was increased by 15%, whereas the cost of cultivation was reduced to the level of 20%. So drastic result was there. But still, we don't have energy efficient machinery. Mechatronics has not been entered. If you see the reels which are coming from the China, they have got a very good setup as far as the automation and controls on a different machinery is concerned. So chances of accident on a machinery is very less when we are using a mechatronics. In our country, we will have to do a justice. Similarly, energy efficiency implements are not available. We are using a tractor of a power, having a power of 55 HP. Whereas our requirement can be fulfilled with the help of a 15 HP tractor, of so-called Sataj tractor. So 15 HP is sufficient. Why to use in a 15 HP place to use a tractor having a power rating of 55 HP? So energy efficient we will have to do. And second thing is that when we have got a small and marginal farmer to the extent of 90%, so availability of equipments is a big question. So custom hiring is a solution. And if you see in a MP, I would like to mention that MP is a cost. There is a really good example as far as custom hiring is concerned. And MP got a lot of good prizes at the national level because they have introduced the concept of attracting a youth agriculture undergraduate or graduate or uneducated youth, those who were having a agriculture background, and they have given some support and incentive, and thereby they have started a custom hiring. So likewise, you can have a lot of things in a machinery as well. And next is a climate. It is already true that climate has been changed. And we will have to do justice as far as the resilience technology is concerned. As far as we are supposed to prepare our farmers to have an adaptation of this climate change. And even we are supposed to think some mitigation technology. For that, farmer perception is more important. They will have to do a proper education is required. And for that, if you see, the farmer himself is a critical factor to decide future of agriculture. So we will have to develop a right type of self-confidence in the mindset of a farmer. We will have to upgrade their knowledge. We will have to put some innovative idea in their mindset. Even let us articulate the learning ability amongst the farmers, because farmers, they believe only in their traditional thing. They are not ready to accept our technology. Even they are not ready to change their ability as far as their talent is concerned. And even they don't want to come forward for a right type of trading. So that's why a learning ability and leadership quality amongst the farmers need to be imparted. That is a basic need. So these are the situation which I have narrated, that what was a past, what is a present condition. But if you see what are the different phases has been developed across the globe. In our country, still we reach to the level of precision agriculture. So at initial inception, it was old agriculture, agriculture 1.0, where only traditional practices we were using, and mostly labor oriented and animal power oriented planting, weeding, harvesting we were maintaining. But later on, when we jump into the agriculture 2.0 during 19th century, then mechanized agriculture come. But prior to this, in agriculture 1.0, traditional practice was there and limited technologies available. And that's why less crop yield was there, and even we were dependent on monsoon. If you see, our farmers were crying for getting a right production. And that's why during this process, Government of India has allowed the entry of a PL 140 wheat, and which was even not in position to, even our animals were not eating that, but we were forced to give this wheat to our farm, to our citizen. So that was a old story, that is agriculture 1.0. But during 19th century, when we have introduced agriculture 2.0, mechanized agriculture we have introduced, it has reduced the cost of cultivation, and at the same time it has increased the overall production to the term of a 15%. That is a really a important consideration. But simultaneously, what happened during this phase only, rise of chemical fertilizer and pesticide was observed. I have given a figure that from 0.5 kg chemical fertilizer per hectare to 143 kg per hectare we have announced. So that's why that is the main reason for poor quality production that we will have to see in this one. And later on, from agriculture 2.0 to we jump into the agriculture 3.0, that is in 20th century. It was dedicatedly meant for a precision agriculture. You might have came across, most of the boys and girls, they might have they might came across with a precision agriculture. Even while deciding our 5th Deans Committee, we have purposely put a one subject on a precision agriculture for BSc agriculture student, because we want to give a sense of humor that how to use a computer and automation, and how you can predict your crop, and how you can find out what will be my total production out of this my piece of land. And then again, you may have with the help of a use of computers and automation, you may be in the position to take some informed decision, and with the help of data collection. Because if you see in a present context, data analytics and data science is one of the very important field, where not only we are giving more stress for collection of data, which should be precise one, which should be reliable one, and which should be your accurate. Once data is available, data is information. Information is knowledge, and knowledge is basically decide action area. That's why in a precision agriculture, major stress was given that how we can collect the data and how we can have a informed decision making. But unfortunately, this has not been penetrated in right way across our country. Whereas if you see in a China, in a other places, people have done a good job, and they have got a complete data setup for their complete land, and they are in position to find out at what date this land will become a barren and fallow land, and on up to what duration they will be in position to take major advantage in terms of high production. That type of sophistication has been made by the during the agriculture 3.0. Now, after that, agriculture 4.0 came into the picture. That is a smart farming. Still, it is in a very primitive stage in our country. But if you go and see the China, if you go and see the France, or even USA, even a small country like your Japan, which is a more dominated as far as the manufacturing and other IT field is concerned, they have also done, although they have got a very limited piece of land, but their focus was on automation and robotics. So agriculture 4.0, which will be our future, that is being dedicatedly working on smart farming. Smart farming means we are supposed to use a robotics, we are supposed to use a drone, AI. Under AI, it is a ML, where systematically all data are available, and then you can develop a algorithm, and then you can decide and monitor your crop. You can decide that what will be your yield, total production and productivity. even then big data analytics are also available. So you can think that it is a period where we are supposed to give more emphasis on artificial intelligence. When AI has entered in almost in every sector, why not in agriculture? Because in agriculture, even it will better if we, with the help of AI, not only it will better to predict our production, but even you can say forecasting is one hand, but foresighting. Say example, if I want my crop will give so much of yield, then I will have to do a reverse engineering to find out based on foresighting that it should be my productivity. Then we will have to go back, make a calculation and find out that how much, what are the different unit operation we need to perform. So that's why smart agriculture, smart farming, it is a time where we will have to mold ourselves. We will have to educate our farmer as well, where we are supposed to increase our automation. Automation means all tasks like planting, harvesting, pest control, they should be automatically maintained. And thereby we will reduce reliance on a manual labor, and even number of ergonomical problems which is being encountered because of absence of automation, we will have to do. An important task is that we can have a real-time data collection. And if we have got a real-time data collection, as I said, data is information. Information, with the help of information, you can find out what will be the action plan. And as far as the future is farming is concerned, I won't take much more of the time. It is already 4:20. But in agriculture 5.0, this is a future of farming. Here, basically, what we will have to do, although a systematically thing has been proposed, even USA has implemented, it is a future of agriculture. We will have to do just right justice to incorporate in our day-to-day agriculture operation. Very important thing is a genetic engineering. But unfortunately, whenever GM crop we are discussing, everybody used to criticize. But in order to modify crop for better yield, resilience on disease, and even improve their nutritional content, we will have to go towards a genetic engineering. This is one of the important component in agriculture 5.0 and future of agriculture. Second is a vertical farming. When continuously our horizontal span is not available, then we will have to go with a vertical stack layers for getting a more of production in order to meet out our future requirement. And typical example is China. If you see in China, most of the building they have converted with a vertical farming. We will have to go on this one. And one more important thing, which is an important component in agriculture 5.0, that is a cellular agriculture. Lab grown meat produce from animal cell, and it has got a good potential to reduce the environmental impact of meat production. Although in our country, statistics gives an impression that we are hardly using a 6.5 kg per capita per year as far as the meat consumption is concerned. But if you see world average, it is 65 kg per capita per year. So that's why we are consuming 1/10 what is their world average. But at least at this moment itself, our consumption, because our total population is very high, so lab grown meat may be a good solution in future. But for getting a right understanding as far as the agriculture 5.0 is concerned, we will have to think on it. We will have to educate our farmers as far as the digital technology is concerned. It is Internet of Things, it is artificial intelligence, machine learning, it is robotics and autonomous system, it is a big data analytics, even a cloud and cloud computing. And you will have to think there is a right way out is given. A new formula has been suggested. I was going through with the complete history of how digital technology has been implemented in China. They have got a 6-tier criteria for agriculture 5.0, and this we will have to adopt. I am pretty sure on this issue. I can take a bet on this issue. Our country, if we will have to survive in future, we will have to think that what is this 6-tier criteria. Very first tier criteria is that we will have to collaborate farmer mindset with the intelligent machine. There are a lot of intelligent machines are available, and these machines should be mechatronics based machinery. Means electronics, fully automation should be there, and farmers should be available. And for that, what the Chinese people are doing, they have implemented a formula so called LIMIT, LIMIT. Means they are providing loan to the poor farmer, they are providing insurance to their crop, they are developing a new market based on OPD calculation, they are providing a lot of input for agriculture, and they are giving a right type of technology. So that's why we will have to collaborate farmer mindset with the intelligent machine. That is a first tier. Second tier is that we will have to upskill and reskill the farmers in the field of digital technology. If you ask any poor farmer in our India, hardly of 5 to 10% they may be aware about robot, or they may be aware about the AI. Whereas the 10% farmers should know their skill. It is a learning, relearning, and then you can say unlearning. Because what is happening, they have got a traditional concept. So we are supposed to unlearn it. We are supposed to give a new trust towards the digital technology. That is a relearning. So upskilling and reskilling farmers, it is a second tier arrangement for agriculture 5.0. And third tier arrangement is a talent acquisition and management in the field of frontier area of agriculture. Perhaps we have not identified that what are the frontier area of agriculture. Still, we are manipulating the things as far as the soil and seed is concerned. Although they are also important, but we will have to identify what is a technology, how we can reduce the labor cost, how we can enhance the production and productivity. For that, right type of talent acquisition. This is a third tier arrangement in China. And fourth one is we will have to leverage digital technology for enhancing production and profitability. Let us provide right platform so that farmers can use a digital technology. I am saying a lot of things, but how this can be implemented there at village level, for that government has to think, and that is a fifth tier arrangement as far as the agriculture 5.0 is concerned. And last, sixth criteria for agriculture 5.0 is a well-being of a farmers. We will have to maintain the well-being of farmer as well by enhancing. Of course, our motto should be to enhance production and productivity, but our motto should be that a process should become a simpler, convenient, and efficient. And there should be of educate, safety, security, and surveillance. There are a lot of problems there in our country, but we will have to do a justice. And there is a well-defined way forward is available. We will have to increase the agriculture system in our country. We will have to educate the farmers properly. They should not sell out their farm, but whereas they should do some justice to have a emphasis on a research, whatever research output is available, how they can articulate this research output for their business outcome. These are the lot of problems. Of course, it is not so easy, but we will have to take some lesson from the Western countries and from the developed countries, those who have done a really justice in this sectors. So this, it is already 4:25. I don't want to create any problem for our chief guest who might be joining from abroad. So thank you very much for giving me
He
this
had joined.
opportunity. Thanks a lot to all of you. In case if anybody is having any quick question, so I will be available for next 2-3 minutes online, and I will be definitely try to give the answer there. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Any question from participants? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Your
very much.
insights have provided us with a valuable perspective, that is the optimization of input and output. Both are necessary, you have told. Along with that, smart farming need to be done through precision agriculture with the help of data analytics, automation, real-time data collection, and market intelligence. Along with that, the take-home message is that agriculture 5 is the future of farming, with vertical farming, cellular agriculture, the Internet of Things, and with the help of talent acquisition, we can go with the agriculture 5 with the future of the farming. Dr. Ratanlal sir has been joined, so we will take feedback afterwards, after the address of Dr. Ratanlal sir. Our today's chief guest, Padma Shri awardee, Dr. Ratanlal sir, had joined. Welcome, sir, on
Thank
behalf
you.
of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture. Now I would like to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Ratanlal sir. Dr. Ratanlal sir has done
Yeah.
PhD in soil science. He is a distinguished university professor and director of the College of Food, Agricultural and Environmental Science, Ratanlal Center for Carbon Management and Sequestration at the Ohio State University, where he has been since 1987. He was soil physicist at International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, Ibadan, Nigeria from 1969 to 1987 and senior research fellow at the University of Sydney, Australia in 1968. Professor Lal was the president of the Soil Science Society of America during 2006 to 8 and of the International Union of Soil Science from 2017 to 18. Sir, research are basically on soil carbon sequestration, conservation agriculture, soil health and land use, and soil management effects on physical processes and properties of soils of the tropics, with an H index of 191 and 157 with the 465 citations. He has authored over 1,130 journal articles, over 577 book chapters. He has authored as well as edited near about 1,005 books. He mentored 410 researchers and he was ranked the first globally in soil and agronomy by Research Council in 2023. He is the laureate of the 2018 Global Confederation of Higher Education Association for Agriculture and Life Sciences, World Agriculture Prize 2018, Glinka World Prize 2019, Japan Prize 2019, US Avasti IFCO Award 2020, IICA Chair in Soil Science and Goodwill Ambassador 2020, Ariel Blue Food Innovation Award 2020, World Food Prize, and the well-known 2021 Padma Shri Award of India. He has sponsored the Dr. Ratanlal Endowed Professorship in Soil Science at the Ohio State University. Now, I would like to request Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, to virtually welcome our today's chief guest, respected Dr. Ratanlal sir. And for this, I request technical team to virtually welcome with sapling. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Ratanlal sir to enlighten the audience with his thoughts on the topic transforming agriculture for adaptation and mitigation of climate change. Please, sir.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation and a very generous introduction. I was listening to the previous lecture, which was outstanding. I have changed the title somewhat. Want to focus more on education of agriculture in India.
Okay,
So
sir.
you have to forgive me for that change, which I made yesterday. So to begin with, I want to share the screen to make sure that you can see. Can you see the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir, it is
visible.
visible.
Very good. Thank you. And you can hear me well. Okay. First of all, human population of India is 18% of the world population. It's the most populous country. The land area of India is 2.4% of the world land area. Water resources of India are 4% of the world, and cattle population in India 31% of the world's livestock. So you can see the challenges that Indian farmers are facing. We have, of course, ethnic groups more than 2,000. There are 22 scheduled languages, 200 overall, 1,600 dialects, and 4 major families of languages: Indo-European, Dravidian, Austroasiatic, Tibet-Burman, and other languages as well. Traditional ancient education system in India obviously goes back to thousands of years. However, access to education traditionally was limited to a few people and not to overall. Therefore, agriculture education in India actually began in 1877 when agriculture school at Sarpet, Madras was established. And in 1905, 4 diploma colleges were begun: Kanpur, Lalpur, now in Pakistan, Coimbatore, and Nagpur. And in 1877, of course, I mentioned already. In 1907, 2 additional diploma college, Pune and Sabur, Bihar. And degree program started in 20s at 6 colleges. In 1947, at the time of independence, there were 17 agricultural colleges. At present, there are almost 900 agricultural colleges in India. It's a remarkable success story. Dr. M.S. Randhawa, and I had the honor to know him when I was a student at PAU, at that time Government Agriculture College, Ludhiana, in 1959. In fact, I joined there at that time. Have agriculture, veterinary, animal husbandry, home science, technological, and science colleges located on the same campus, and they be autonomous, offer composite courses and integrate education, research, and extension. And this last part, integrating education, research, and extension, the land grant system that started at that time. The State Agricultural University in India, as I mentioned, in 1949, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he chaired the Education Commission, recommended the establishment of rural universities. And in 55, 56, a joint Indo-American team established on the advice of Dr. Frank Parker, chaired by Dr. Damle. In 59, a second joint Indo-American team was chaired by Dr. M.S. Randhawa. And in 1960, Agricultural University Committee chaired by Dr. Ralph Cummings. I must say Dr. Ralph Cummings was originally from Ohio, same university where I am now, and he then transferred to Cornell when his professor, Dr. Bradfield, whose lab now I manage, moved to Cornell, and Dr. Ralph Cummings, of course, was Director General of ICRISAT in Hyderabad, and also involved with the graduate school at IARI. Modern education system, right now there are 63 state agriculture universities, 8,000 colleges, 0.5 million faculties, total enrollment quite a large, student to teacher ratio is about 29. Now, I must mention that I read this morning that awards of academic medals in agriculture, 90% are earned by women. And the only reason in 63 I got medal of agriculture from PAU, because at that time there was no girl student in the class. Otherwise, I would have lost it also. They are really the brain of India. I must congratulate each one of you. Agriculture in Indian Constitution, primary responsibility of agriculture, research, education, extension, development with the state. The National Agriculture Research System in the country is a 2-tier system, ICAR at the traditional level and State Agricultural University at the state level. Indo-US collaboration started a long time ago. University of Illinois was working with G.B. Pant University, Ohio State University, where I am, and I came under that system here in 65. Punjab Agriculture University, later on Haryana and Himachal, and of course Rajasthan were all in cooperation with since 1962 at Ohio State. University of Missouri was working at Orissa, Kansas State, at Andhra Pradesh, Tennessee, and Bangalore, and Pennsylvania State, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith. So these were actively involved in Indian University. As of January 2024, there are 63 SAUs and 4 central universities and 1 central agricultural universities, as I mentioned already. So Indian agriculture really at present is a global success story. And the honor of that success goes to farmers and the researchers and the faculty members. For example, food grain production in India between 47 and 2020 went up by a factor of 6.2, horticulture by a factor of 10, milk by a factor of 9, fish by a factor of 13, and there are many, many other great success stories of India. The grain export stands at $40 billion, 20 million tons, and grain buffer stock at 50 million ton, poverty reduction from 70% in 47 to 20%. So we still have a long way to go. But obviously, agriculture is something that each one of us must be very, very proud of. However, there is still a large gap between crop yield which is obtained in India compared with world average. For example, rice, 10,800 kilogram in Australia. India is about 2,500. Wheat, these might be old statistics somewhat, but wheat yield about 9 ton and India is about 3 ton. Pulses yield is about 700 kilogram or about 1 metric ton, and in China 3 tons. Oilseed about 1.3 ton. Sugarcane obviously about half of what it is in Peru. Tea production also at a lower level, and cotton yield in Israel compared to India is also. So there is a large yield gap of different crops, which in a way is a good kind of indication that India can double up its productivity easily and still be in a very good shape. So we have a long way to go to catch up with global productivity. Trained manpower needed is about desired 400 per million people, and we are now 1.4 billion, so that's the improvement needed there. Graduation per year in India right now 60 to 65 million, and therefore we come back to the question of what is education. The aim of education is not only to influence the outward appearance of the students, but also to enhance their knowledge, integrity, and personality through effective communication and exemplary behavior. And that is what is education is, exemplary behavior. It's the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. And the pedagogy, methodology of teaching includes storytelling, discussion, training, and directed research, and many other challenges that Indian education faces. In spite of this progress, it is still exam-centric. You have to forgive me if that's not the case where you are, but still it's exam-centric rather than learning-centric. And there's a difference between the two. It lacks flexibility on choosing the courses of interest. It minimizes healthy competition. And I think I want to go back here in terms of it minimizes healthy competition. I think we should focus on that part quite a lot. In my case, here my students, I have many graduate students, and some of them want to go and study in other colleges, take classes in languages. We have 18 colleges at Ohio State, and they can take whatever they like. There is no, as long as they meet the minimum requirement of our degree, then over and above that, they are free to do whatever they wish. And the same thing applies to research. I ask them, what would you like to do? Teaching has 7 principles: enhance content between student and teacher, promote cooperation among students, encourage active learning, provide prompt feedback, emphasize timely submission of homework tasks, advocate high expectation, respect diverse talents and ways of learning. And there is a difference between teaching and learning. Teaching methodology, the emphasis is on the teacher completing the syllabus. And I'm a teacher and I know the syllabus we have designed and I have to complete it. And learning is the focus on self-study, group studies, assignments and case studies, etc. Now, the strength of the land-grant universities in India, of course, is openness, accessibility, accountability, peer and student evaluation, service to people, and that's a healthy competition for grant funds and so forth. So we still have not reached the grant competition in India as much as it is. For example, in my case, although I consider myself very lucky, my success story in grant funding, and I right now have a grant which is $10 million, but my success is 10% for the last 50 years or so. Which means I apply 10 times before I get one time. So then the question is in search of excellence in teaching, a system which takes student achievement into account in various ways, comprises of a different way of doing business, and of course, evaluation of teaching by students. Evaluation of teaching by students. In my case, student evaluation of my last year teaching, which I do not know, Dean knows, will be posted before I begin teaching this year class. So that the student know what my shortcomings and what my limitations are. And that's a very important part of evaluation. In 2024-25, the Ministry of Agriculture has allocated rupees 132470 crore, which is 2.7% of the total budget of India. And that's commendable budget. That's a very large budget. And however, there's a declining faculty number in ICR because of the budgetary issue. There is an issue of inbreeding, which many people talk about. You study all degrees at the same university, and then people are employed as a teacher at the same university. And that is a problem which need to address. Curricula sometimes not relevant to changing realities. And the realities are globalization, intellectual property rights, involvement of private sector in research and education, distant learning for administrative, financial, and academic achievements. These are some of the issues. Lack of accountability is mentioned many times. Proliferation and bifurcation for political rather than scientific reason is another issue that comes up many times. So how do we improve agricultural education? Developing a mechanism to upgrade the curricula on a regular basis every 3 to 5 years. And I'll come back to in Indore in 1920, there was a system that was developed by the then who was president of the Indian National Science Academy, Sir Albert Howard. He was based in Indore, and I'll come to explain what he developed. And I hope you will consider that 100 years ago idea what we are promoting everywhere else in the world. And I'll be back on that talking about it. Strengthen the link between teaching, research, and extension. This is very, very important. For example, I have 25% teaching and then 50% research and extension, the remaining part. So a professor has 3 responsibility, and we want to maintain that part in India as well. Reducing time lapse between research, education, and extension, creating a market-oriented agricultural education extension, including entrepreneurship, agribusiness, post-harvest technology, value addition, internal trade, many other computer science, especially machine learning and other things are gaining momentum. Strengthening human dimensions of the curricula, including rural sociology, agricultural anthropology, agricultural ethics and politics, especially that part, and of course gender, caste issues, which are important. Enhancing the role of private sector and open admission, employment nationally and across disciplines, while making curricula rural realistic and farmer centric. Rural realistic and farmer centric curricula, which need upgrading very frequently with changing reality, and of course enhancing the distance education. There are 7 I's of improving agricultural curricula: institution, infrastructure, incentives, innovations, information technology, inputs, and indigenization. That means addressing local issues. And those are very important. Then there's the motivational aspects, providing monetary gains, social acceptance, professional recognition, performance and output-oriented reward system, transparency and effective governance, flexibility in courses, research program, training opportunities overseas. I do want to, it might sound like being arrogant, but recently, last month, in fact, I got Gulbenkian Prize for Humanity. It was awarded to me by Dr. Angela Merkel, the former president of Germany for 20 years. And the award is $350,000 US. Like my previous award, I gave that money also to Ohio State, but this time I indicated that $350,000 will bring $15,000 interest every year. And I am requesting, and I think it will be approved, scientific exchange between 3 universities where I studied: Ohio State, Punjab Agriculture University, and IARI. And this will begin from next year. That $15,000 will invite one younger faculty from these 3 places to go to India and vice versa. And my hope is that I may be able to, due to some luck, and maybe increase that money to $1 million. And $1 million will create an interest of $50,000. And with that way, we can probably have 10 universities cooperate. And I hope that training opportunities overseas will be met through that. The art and science of teaching, the creative art, imaginative, artistic, freewheeling perspective, and science, of course, the logical data, research, testing, number perspective, and so forth. Honesty in academy is very, very, very important. Academy is an arena where truth is the rule. Truth is the rule. Zombie academy is a dead institution, kept breathing by a continued infusion of funding. There is no place for exaggeration, distortion, and incoherence in an academy. We need to think ICR is the greatest institution, much, much bigger, much more powerful than USDA, for example. But still, streamlining is very important. So farmers, scientists, seed distributors, agrochemical company, machinery dealers, creditors, food processors, packaging company, food safety company, biofuel producers, all these linked agricultural enterprise, restorative, eco-efficient, knowledge-based, soil quality, water scarcity, climate change. These are very, very important issues in India. And of course, consumer preferences, dietary changes, regulatory issues, environment quality. I'll come back to that in a moment. Carbon and water footprint, reducing of agriculture. Reducing carbon and water footprint of agriculture in India. And of course, respectability of the profession. Agriculture profession in India must be given the highest respect, because the farmers involved, the research scientists involved, the extension agents involved. And research ICR, one way to spell ICR, innovative, cutting edge, anticipatory, rewarding. And I am sure that's the case. Education strategic, transferring skills, resource enhancing, effective in teaching, agriculture profile raising, and managerial skill promoting. And that is what I mean by streamlining ICR. Bridging the yield gap, I showed you what the difference are between India and elsewhere. That need to be taken care of as much as possible. And this is what I was talking about, what came out of Indore in 1920. Sir Albert Howard, who was the president of India's Science Academy, he came up with the idea that soil health, plant health, animal health, and human health are interrelated. This is called the One Health concept. Therefore, if the health of the soil goes down, health of plants, animal, and human goes down with it. At present, we have extended this concept of Sir Albert Howard, and there was a woman also based there in Indore. Her name was Eve Balfour. And Eve Balfour also wrote the same concept. Now, whether they were related, I do not know. But there's a book also by Eve Balfour. And we have extended this concept to environment health and to planetary health. Therefore, health of soil, plants, animal, human, environment, and planet is one and indivisible. If the health of soil goes down, health of everything else goes down with it. Unfortunately, soil degradation in India is a serious problem. It really needs to be addressed. In addition to the socioeconomic factors, food security research in India must also address environmental issues. If the environment is not addressed, success of agriculture is not very, very bright part. It must also take environment with it. And one of the things that I suggest that is growing carbon as a commodity, as a crop that you can grow in the land, soil and trees, and get income from it. And this is called carbon farming. That's the research my center here we do. Carbon farming, growing soil carbon or a tree carbon as a commodity that can create another income stream for farmer. This is a new concept. And how much income? About 7,500 to 10,000 rupees per acre per year. It's $50 per credit. One credit is 1 metric ton of CO2 equivalent. Pay farmer $50 per credit if they sequester carbon in soil and trees. And that carbon in soil is organic and inorganic. And of course, trees is different. And this is what carbon farming means. And we must be thinking about synergism, consumers with producers, technology with nature, farmland with the urban ecosystem, crops with livestock, trees with landscape, soil with food, and humanity with land. And we should be thinking about learning, imagination, and life. That's Albert Einstein. He said logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. And therefore, we must promote imagination, daydreaming in a way. I'm enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. And there are only two ways to live your life. One is as through nothing is a miracle, though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. And learning is not compulsory, but neither is survival. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. Digital information is very, very important these days. In the agriculture era, schools mirrored a garden. In the industrial area, classes mirrored the factory with an assembly line of learners. In the digital information era, the education will look very different. Payment to farmer, I already mentioned, are very important. Synergism, I've already discussed these. And finally, I want to mention about the mantra that healthy soil equal to healthy diet, equal to healthy people, equal to healthy ecosystem, healthy planetary processes. And finally, how to make agriculture a part of the solution to restoring the environment. And I want to show you pictures of few things which can happen when you control soil erosion by conservation agriculture, control eutrophication by keeping the ground always covered, soil depletion, living in deep root system, integration of crop with trees and livestock to mitigate global warming, and our environment, Yamuna River. Rather than this, should look like this. That is what environment should be. One more time, the same spot, and this picture taken, when we were closed because of the COVID. Similarly, India Gate, you always see like this. Such a beautiful architect should always look like this. River Ganges has a lot of biodiversity. Dolphins exist in River Ganges, but you never see them because of the pollution. You should be able to see Himalayas from Delhi, on the northern part of Delhi. You should be able to see Himalayas, like in this picture. But because of the air pollution, we cannot. And I think finally, the important part of learning is to forget how to dig the earth and to tend the soil is to forget ourselves. And that's the learning of education I would strongly, strongly urge. We have come a long way, but we have a longer way to go. And I'm sure we will meet those challenges with bright students like yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There are a lot of take-home messages from your presentation, but one of them, that is the healthy diet, will move towards healthy people, which will alter in healthy ecosystem and which will give healthy planetary system. Your expertise on the topic is a thought-provoking, sir. Thank you again. Now it is the time to take feedback from the participant. Anyone from participant?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear you.
sir. Sure.
Hello.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Respected Ratanlal sir, respected guest of honor Ratanlal sir, respected NS Rathore sir, all the guests of honor. So last 2 days, the international conferences, all the chairpersons and the co-chairperson session. Really, it's a very good opportunity in the part of VAKSANA 2024. It's an international conference based on the innovations in agriculture and outreach programs, challenge opportunities. It's a big and good sessions for us. So definitely this is very fruitful for us, and we directly know about that the which innovations to directly connected with the agricultures and which is the opportunities and the challenges then we be beneficial for the farmers. So thank you very much, sir, and thank you very much all the organizers, monitors, all of things. So that's a great seminar and a great conferences, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Ma'am, myself, Dr. Hemant Patil from NPK Viravuri.
Yes, sir.
Now, today I am giving some feedback about our conference as a representative of the all participants. And this conference is helpful for scientists to improve the era of new research technology. For the students' point of view, new diets for to present their research paper, and but last not but the least, it's a great opportunity to listen and to our respected Dr. Pal sir's lecture. It's a too long time I have listened his lecture. A very, very, very good opportunity to us. It's thanks to VAKSANA that Dr. Pal sir is guiding us Now, also one thing I have to mention that there are some engineers who are leading in VAKSANA because I have appreciated this because my vice chancellor is also from engineering department. These engineers having their good ideas and their dissemination of technology and smart agriculture. Just one scientist have mentioned that there is need of IoT in smart agriculture. Our MPK Ravri has going through a custom project, drone pilot, AI, all these things are running by our university. Now the conference is helpful for the scientists, students, and the farmers' point of view. One thing I have to mention that we miss to visit Indore University because we are interested to see the good university. It is well-known university. Now, I sincerely thanks to the organizing committee, organizers, especially thanks to my dear friend Dr. Valedictory and Dr. Mane sir. Also, I thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. Dhar sir, Dr. Nikhil Gupta sir, and Dr. Rathod sir. Lastly, this opportunity has a great pleasure for us. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Very much. I think agricultural education in India has brought tremendous respect and dignity to India, being the now food exporter country. But there's a long way to go. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And agricultural education can be a very, very important tool to improve the standards of research, education, extension, and to bring the respect and dignity to the profession. That's a very important part, and universities such as yours have a tremendous role to play in that.
Thank you, sir. You have given time for us. Any participant want to give feedback? Okay. So now we can move towards next moment. That is a much awaited moment for the participants are waiting eagerly. Yes, it is the time for declaration of awards. First, we will announce the oral presentation award.
Please, ma'am, I do want to ask you to forgive me. I will say goodbye and best of wishes to all of you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
taking
much,
time
sir.
for us.
Bye.
Thank you. First, we will announce the oral presentation award. In oral presentation, third rank is secured by Dr. Sachin Mahajan. Second rank is secured by Dr. Vande Anusha. And the first rank goes to Nisha Kapoor. Congratulations. Now we will move towards the poster presentation awards. In poster presentations, third rank secured by Ms. Shalu Chaudhary. Second rank secured by Mr. Danish Khandwe. And the first rank goes to Dr. Patil HM. Congratulations. Once again, congratulations to winners and participants.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Now it's time to release our 6th international conference brochure, that is a VAKSANA 2025. The coordinator for these are Dr. Rajni Solanki and Dr. Vishal Panchal. The 6th international conference will be held on 18 and 19 September 2025 based on the theme Climate Smart Agriculture, Impact and Adoption Strategies, which aims to bring together academicians, researchers to share their ideas and practical solutions in the present scenario. So, without further delay, I request technical team to virtually release it. Thank you, sir. Now, I request Dr. K.N. Guruprasad, sir, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, to give concluding remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Shinde. Right now, I guess our guests who were there in this session, Professor N.S. Rathod and Professor Ratan Lal, are not with us at present, but all of you would agree with me that we had very informative lectures from both of them on the agricultural practices and also on the soil status and its importance to the climate in general, health in general, and also for the maintenance of the planet, as Professor Ratan Lal mentioned. So I thank them in their absence for a very informative lecture in this session. This conference was focused on agricultural extension and how do we bridge the gap between the laboratories and the farmers through innovative methods to be adapted in agriculture extension. Looking to the number of papers received in the conference, I appreciate the efforts put by the coordinators, because in the report I heard that about over 100 abstracts were received, out of which 63 were presented and 30 full papers are also have been compiled into a book. So that's quite a big achievement from the conference organization point of view, and I appreciate the effort put by everyone from the Institute of Agriculture towards this conference. Now, in conclusion, you have heard a lot of experts by now, and also you have witnessed the presentation of a lot of research papers. But still, we need to keep the objective of extension program in mind when we do research and also when we teach the students. The primary objective is to benefit the farmers. Now, how much has the improvements in agriculture, which we have encountered in this country for the last few years, have benefited the farmers actually? Now, I think as an institute and for those who are participating from other institutes, it may be a worthwhile study to document, say, in the area in which our institute is situated, wherever it is situated, say in the surrounding areas, if students can document interacting directly with the farmers, that say in the last 5 years, how much the methods of agriculture or how much the type of the seeds used or whatever advancement has taken place in that area with reference to the advancements in general. Are they practicing the old methods still, or have they improved in some way or the other? Now, that documentation can be a part of extension activity to my mind, so that it will be beneficial to communicate more with the farmers. If we can improve their methods, or if we can improve their seed quality, or improve their ways of reducing pesticides, all these ways, whatever we talk in theory, how much of that is being practiced in the area surrounding your institute? Now, that documentation, I hope, will be very helpful. I wish our institute also takes up this kind of activity as a part of agricultural extension activity. When our students go and work with the farmers, simultaneously they can collect this information about improvement that has taken place, say, in the last 5 years or so. In the morning, I was in another conference of management where we were discussing about how to improve the technology and innovations in general. And I found a very interesting data that we are still an agro-based society. Almost 65% of our population is still rural-based, and they are dependent on agriculture and agriculture-related activities. Now, if you look to the level of employment, then the unemployment is the lowest amongst these rural agricultural labors. The unemployment level is only 3 to 4%. Whereas if you take the educated people who are mostly in the urban areas, then if you take the highest unemployment of 29% is amongst the graduates. And if you come to the people who are only educated up to school level, secondary school level, then the unemployment is 18%. So what the data shows is that employment is more when you are educated less, because we are agricultural based society, and our economy revolves around agriculture. So we have two types of situation because of this in the country. One is the degree-based education, another is the skill-based education. Why they are all employed is, see, for employment, you need not go to have a degree. That's not required, because if you look to the data, then you will see the people who do not have degrees are the most employed. Whether it is, of course, this data is on the mostly on the rural economy, but even in urban areas, if you find the life around you, how many people who are contributing to the society and the benefits of the society around us in the urban area, how many of them are educated, and to what level they are educated? If you look to this, we will find that it is the people who are not much educated who are contributing most to the society. And agriculture is one of those major sectors where the contribution is to the maximum. And I hope this conference will give more new ideas, particularly to the scientists and staff members in the Agricultural Institute, new ideas about how to bridge the gap between the institutes and the farmers through this extension activities. And in general, we also have to think about how to bridge the gap between the educated and the skilled. So these are the gaps which need to be focused upon in the coming years. We heard from Professor Rathore about how much we are behind in terms of the advancements in agriculture that is taking place in other countries who are moving from agriculture 2 to agriculture 3, 4, and 5, and towards smart agriculture. So we have a long way to go, and conferences of this type, I hope, will help us to formulate our programs towards moving to advanced practices of agriculture. With this, I thank everyone, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to conclude the seminar today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your appreciation and remarks. Before we conclude the remarkable ceremony, let us express a gratitude to all those who have contributed for the success of this event. For this, I would like to invite Professor Vinod Dhar, sir, coordinator of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Agriculture, to deliver the word of thanks. Along that, I like to request all the participants and dignitaries that they should on the video. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sheetal.
Over to you, sir.
It's my pleasure to offer a word of thanks. I, Professor Vinod Dhar, place on record my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Shri Padma Awadi and World Food Prize Awadi Dr. Ratan Lal, a distinguished professor and at College of Food, Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. Dr. N.S. Rathore, former Deputy Director General, Engineering, ICAR. I express my deep sense of gratitude to our worthy Chancellor, Shri Purushottam Das Ji Pasari, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. K.N. Guru Prasad, for their inspiration and motivation. My sincere thanks also to all sessions chairperson for their participation in the conference and in judging the paper poster presenters in this conference and declaring by consensus the winners of Best Oral Poster Presentation. I heartily congratulate the winners of both the categories. I also thank all the participating researchers, scholars for contributing for their full research papers, abstracts, and posters in this conference. I express my sincere thanks to directors, deans, head of institutions, head of departments, engineers, technicians of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore for their moral and technical support for smooth conduct of this entire event. My sincere thanks are also for press and media for covering the proceedings of the event. Last but not least, I congratulate and express my appreciation to the coordinators and the team associated in this year's VAKSANA 2024 for nicely organizing the event. My sincere thanks to Dr. Sahasmani for being a fabulous coordinator for the event and for meticulously organizing the event. I thank you all once again.
Thank you, sir, for the words of gratitude. At the end of this session, as a spirit of unity and patriotism, I now request all to please rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata ki
Jai.
Thank you each and everyone. We look forward you in a future. Now with the permission of dignitaries, I declare the session closed. Thank you all.
Thank
Now
you.
you can leave the
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.